rocking?
Yeah, we're rocking.
I'm listening.
So tell me who you are.
I'm Chris Forbes. I'm 32 years old. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee.
Are you from Knoxville?
I've been in the recovery community since August 28th of 2022.
What was that like for you? Was that your first time? Or?
What, in the recovery?
Yeah.
What was my life? I was actually incarcerated from June 28th of 2020 until August 28th of 2022. And that was, really. I got tired of being locked up. I got tired of being a shitty dad. I just got tired of being miserable, honestly.
All right. So, keeping it PG.
Oh, yeah.
You're good. What was it like the first time you remember being an addict? Or like the first, like the, when the, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like when the first thought came to you, you're like, something may be off here.
It probably wasn't until really my last 3 years of addiction, because when I first started using, when I was like 16, it was just like the normal high school drinking and social. And then I went in the Army and I would go out and drink, but I still had to be places mandatory. It was when my mom died, really, and I started using. But for a long time, I didn't even think of drugs or alcohol was my problem. I thought it was the way I was raised or where I was raised or everything but drugs until like my last 3 years of addiction. And then I was just like, man, this has got to be it. But then by that point, I couldn't stop. I was on pills, so I had to use them daily, and it just was a lot.
Do you remember what that moment was for you?
That exact moment,
Yeah.
when I'm like, this is over with, that moment,
Yeah.
yeah, I was at the Johnson Inn in Johnson City, and I done lost everything. I lost my kids, I done lost my place to live, I done everything. Every relationship I'd ever built up was gone, everything. I didn't have nothing. I had some bags, and I had nothing really. And I just remember crying out to God, I'm like, dude, I can't do this no more. I can't. Something's got to give. And about 2 weeks later, that's when I caught them big boy charges, and they're like, well, you're gonna sit for a while. Little did I know that was a blessing in disguise, because that's what put all this in motion, was me doing that time. And getting all them resources and really committing to it, because that got my mind, like I wanted to quit for a long time, but like physically I couldn't. I didn't want to detox, I didn't want to do any of that. So that did that for me. So I was like, well, the hard parts, to me, in my mind at the time, what the hard part was over with. So now that I'm not on it and I've been off of it, let me go out here and try and do my best, really.
See how it looks different, I guess. What's been the hardest thing for you as far as being in recovery?
The hardest thing for me? Oh man, there's a few of them. The things I struggle with the most today is, one, learning how to deal with them emotions normally, like a normal person. And then two, knowing where that thin line is in doing the work and letting God do it. Like, because I don't know, because I wait on that. Like, it's not like God's going to send me an email every morning, like, this is what I want you to do today. So I struggle with that, on knowing and not worrying, because I'm a planner. I plan ahead, I try and fix things. That's just what I do. So turning that over and giving to them, that takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
It really does.
Hard to find where you in.
Yeah, where that thin line is.
That's the biggest thing you struggle with?
Yes.
What's the second thing? You said there were a few.
Like my emotions, my anger, and realizing I've gotten way better at it than what I used to. I used to just, because now I can sit back and I realize, like when I get mad, how I deal with that person I'm mad at is different, but internally it's not, and I gotta walk myself through it as far as like, well, why exactly am I mad right now? And I try and think to my fourth step. I'm like, well, it's really my character defects. I'm jealous of others. I'm not getting my way, whatever it may be at the moment. I think I know how people should do their jobs. I think I know all the facts, stuff like and really I've created a problem, but still internally, even though I know this, I still can't let that.
Yeah.
It takes me a minute to wind myself back down. even though I'm dealing with the people different, still internally, that's probably the worst one.
Yeah. Well, some would say that like our actions, right? Like it's how it looks. It's like what we do, not what we think, right? Thank God for that. What's been like biggest victory or the thing you're most excited for right now?
I mean, I've got so many material things, but it's really like the relationships with people. Being trustworthy and dependable, and a good employee or a good father or a good brother, and having people around me that really care about me, not just like, I'm using you for what you got and you're using me for what I got. I don't have that around me no more. At least I don't think. I'm pretty sure I don't though. Being able to be trusted with my daughter. Where y'all going? Pigeon Forge. Have fun. We'll see you later.
Wow.
And being like an example for them and other people, like my dad, my sister, they're in addiction.
So what do
So
they think of you?
they're proud of me, and I've never had that either, except when I went into the Army.
Naturally. How do they react to you now? Is it different than when it was like say 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
For sure, yeah. And I'm still, yeah, for sure. More of anything, it's hard to get them to more like open up to me, because I feel like how I felt when I was ashamed, when I was in addiction, talking to somebody that's got, and I feel like that's what they don't like, communicating about what's really going on with them, even though I understand completely what they're going through because I went through it, but I still get that a lot. So I got to put in more effort to show them, like, hey, listen, and but I try not to like shove it down their throats either. I want them to do better, but that's not. I mean, when people did that to me, that turned me away. So I kind of let them just suffer, really, because that's what it takes. I mean, honestly.
That's what it takes. What do you think the thing that's been most useful or most helpful for you in recovery? Or something that's like the most helpful to you right now?
The most helpful? The most helpful thing. People believing that you can change. Besides yourself. I mean, that's number one. You got to believe you can do it, and you can't take no for an answer. But you also have to have a community of people believe you can do it too, where it's super tough, where I'd have done it a long time ago if I could do it by myself. That's including getting second chances from my judge. Let's see. So many people, man. Families Free, Recovery Resources, Inside Alliance. They spent 2 years working with me when I was incarcerated, meeting me every week and having video chats and talking about my goals. The jail, teaching me things about how to be an electrician, and then just when I got out, the support I received and the help, clothes, food, showing me how to go to meetings, showing me how to set goals for myself, showing me how to accomplish it, helping me do it, walking me through it, really. It takes a community of people to do that, I think, really. I wouldn't have made it without a community. If I didn't have them people, I'd have been, who knows where I'd be right now. Probably not right here, talking to you, if I'm honest about it.
Same. I had a question. If you could tell yourself anything 4 years ago, Chris, what would you tell him?
What would I tell myself 4 years ago? Hang in there, it gets better, really. I mean, a lot of people would like to change their past. I wouldn't, really. Because that's what made me who I am today. That made me have a relationship with my God that most people don't get to have. That made me a better father. That makes me appreciate the trips to the park or the slip and slides or whatever we're doing. It just appreciate having a car that I work my butt off for. Appreciate everything I have, the people, what I have, just everything around me, really. So I really wouldn't. But I would just tell him, listen and hang in there, honestly.
If you could take any movie and you had to replace all the characters but one with Muppets, what movie would you do and what character would you keep?
One movie, change all of them with Muppets, but keep one character the same. Dang. That's tough. The Godfather.
What actor would you keep?
Al Pacino, of course.